So, Juanita, thanks very much for giving us a chance just to have a little chat. And what I was hoping to do was just to try to understand a little bit of the life experience of living in South Africa with cystic fibrosis. And we've already spoken a little bit about this, haven't we? And I understand that you've got this condition. Can you remind me how old you are? You're
37.
You're 37 years old.
38 in February.
38 in February. And you were born with two of the genes for cystic fibrosis, the delta F508, a common gene mutation. You were diagnosed in early
At age
childhood, 3 years of age, and that's because you weren't gaining weight and growing the right way. And you've had a lifetime's experience of having cystic fibrosis here in South Africa.
I feel pretty blessed because a lot of the cystic fibrosis community within South Africa have it a lot more harder than I have had it.
You haven't had it easy from what.
But I haven't had it easy. Only reflecting on it now I really realised that there are times that it hasn't been easy at all.
So you have things like the infection with Pseudomonas.
Pseudomonas, thank goodness, nothing in addition to it. Quite bronchiectasis, obviously. At times when I have been on Cipro, joint pains, which is normal for Cipro.
It can happen, it can be a side effect of the antibiotic, that's true.
And I think most especially I've got to be quite mindful of the amount of exercise that I do when I'm on Cipro.
Right,
because
it makes the joints worse. And you are otherwise someone who likes to exercise.
I do like to. Don't do it as much as possible, like I should be, and stringently and strictly. But I have a passion for it. I have a love and a passion for it.
That's amazing.
And I think that's held me in good stead during school. School days. I love my sport, absolutely, especially swimming. So swimming, I think, carried me through a lot of my CF. And then varsity was rowing and paddling and hockey. I think sport has must say early management, strict early management with treatment right from when I was diagnosed. Obviously plays a huge role.
You have a good routine for keeping yourself?
Yes. So I go through stages of absolute focus and hyperfixation over this needs to happen. And then there are times where life stuff happens that I tend to put myself last. And I put everything else first, which is not so great.
It's a difficult balance.
It's a difficult balance.
I'm sure. Some of the treatments that you have then, you mentioned nebulized antibiotics.
So Zithro 3 times a week.
Okay.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Inhalant antibiotic, which is Toby or calistamycin, depending on sensitivity, but generally Toby. 1 month on, 1 month off. Hypertonic saline, but I get a bit of bronchospasms when I have hypertonic.
You've got asthma as well, cystic fibrosis.
Yes, most definitely.
So most definitely. Steroids as well sometimes.
Yes, but only inhalant. The tablets and everything are quite.
And you occasionally need to have intravenous antibiotics as well.
Luckily, I've been quite blessed. It's only caught up to me in later life, and I think with pregnancy, they say pregnancy has brought a further deterioration in my lung function.
But you've got 2 beautiful daughters.
They both prem. But that was.
So they look pretty healthy and
they are
in good
healthy,
shape now, don't they? Great.
Yeah.
And we've talked a little bit about the advances in care in cystic fibrosis, and we talked about Kaftrio or Kaftrio, I think you know.
Our
about
dream.
Yeah, sure. And the situation in South Africa is that there's still an ongoing challenge to bring this through.
Ongoing challenge. Sitting in a high court. We do have a great team, and our association, we meet at least monthly to every second month, depending on the availability of us health professionals and the CF patients that are on the association. And we're doing everything possible that we can, but it's been a long wait.
Can you see any light in the future, anything on the horizon about this coming to South Africa? What's your feeling?
In a general CF community sense, very, very low, what's the word? Low hope.
Oh gosh.
most especially within a South African context, because we have such a huge discrepancy in public health care and private health care. The public health care CF patients don't receive. I can't speak for every hospital, but at times there's not availability of X, Y, and Z, or it comes later at a later stage and they have to go back. And some of these patients travel far, very far, to get to their CF clinic that they're zoned for,
Big
etc.
country, as we've been finding out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such a small amount of us, on average.
Would you say about 500?
Yeah, roughly 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, roughly 500. Adult CF patients we are starting to lose them.
Yeah.
Which is very, very
And
sad.
it must be frustrating knowing that there are
Yes.
potential treatments out there that could
Absolutely.
be preventing that from
Yeah.
happening.
I think that's the hardest part for the families, is that they see that it is just there, but not there.
Yeah.
There's no accessibility, but it is out there, and we call it the miracle drug. It's.
So we live in hope that
We live
that
in
might
hope.
change, that might
We
change.
really live in hope, because I can see, especially if these kids can get onto it at an early stage and appropriate age and stage, how that will just give them a whole different onset of their future life.
Changes the future, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And a mental mindset too, for the parents and caregivers involved and siblings. And so that is the hope. I loved your comment about you feel so privileged to be in your profession at this stage, and that seeing the access to these amazing drugs.
No, we've been lucky in the UK. We've had
just-
these drugs for a number of years now,
Yeah.
and it's been the greatest part of my career,
Yeah.
seeing those benefits come
Yeah.
through to my patients. And I really do hope that we can do the same.
Yeah,
Somehow
somehow.
we can find a way as a CF community, working with pharma, and somehow find solutions to bring these drugs to everybody in all parts of the world. Let's hope so, eh?
Two of our adult CF patients have actually, one specifically moved over to the UK to receive Kaftrio Trikafta. Another one moved over in the hope that she would be able to gain access, but it wasn't only the reason for her moving over with her family. But she has a funny gene mutation type. But not so straightforward. So she hasn't been able to have access, but she says that's the difference in the UK. She feels that everything is just geared up for chronic health and long-term disease, whereas in Africa it's challenging. Yeah, it is challenging, really challenging.
Thanks so much for talking.
Oh,
Thanks. I mean, it's been
absolutely.
great to hear
Yes,
your experience and for sharing the perspective about cystic fibrosis in South Africa.
And we really do have amazing teams.
Mentioned.
Medical teams that really have a special interest in CF. So, and they are continuously, I know, always looking at international standards and how can we best care for our
And it
patients.
sounds like that's what you're getting.
That's what we're
I mean,
getting,
certainly
Bar one or
parallels.
two things. The miracle drug. But
Thanks.
Okay.
yeah.